go over the divisibility rules. So there's a lot here. And so we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. Right, so those are, like if we'll get started here. There's definitely a lot of them. You may have to watch this video more than once. Okay, so we start with 2, right? 2 is the simplest one, right? And it's all like, is this an integer kind of question, right? So basically, so if you're looking at a number and they give you 115, okay, so if we divide it by 2, are we going to get an integer here? An integer means a whole number, so not 75 and a half or something, right? That you get a whole number. And anytime you see this last digit being odd and you divide by 2, the answer to that question is no. Anytime you see it even, the answer is yes, right? So 116 divided by 2 will give you an integer. 115 divided by 2 will not. These are all questions about whether or not you will get an integer when you divide by a certain number. Okay, what's next here? Okay, 3. So if we divide by 3. Okay, so say our number is 336. Okay, and it says, can you divide this by 3? All right, you can go and divide the whole thing out and find out, but a lot of times, you get a bunch of choices and there's only one that's right. It's going to take a lot of time, you run out of time. So there's all little special tricks for these. So all you do here to find out if it's divisible by 3, add the digits up. So what does that look like? 3 plus 3 plus 6. And is it divisible by 3? 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 6, 12. 12 divided by 3 equals 4. That's an integer. That's a good number. All right, staying with 3's here for a second. A couple other examples. So sometimes it looks like it would be, and other times it looks like it would not. All right, so what's another example? 1017, right? At first glance, I would say it looks like it's not divisible by 3, right? But if we add them up, 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 7 divided by 3, 1 plus 0 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 7 is 9. It's a good one, right? And one more, what if we had the number 910, right? Doing the same thing, getting used to this now. 910, 9 plus 1 plus 0, that equals 10. 10 divided by 3 is not an integer, right? So that answer is 3.33 or 3 1/3, not an integer. So that's how we do the 3's. We add up the digits in the number, divide by 3, see if it works. Actually pretty simple. Just got to remember it. 4, all right. So divisible by 4. So all you're looking at is the last 2 digits that are in. Doesn't matter how big the number is the last 2 digits, and then we divide by 4 and see if it produces an integer. Okay, so we start with an easy one. So 32 divided by 4, that's 8. Okay, so that one works, right? And we're gonna stick with these 32s for a second, I think. Yep, 1032 divided by 4. Right, so when you look at something like this, all you're concerned is the last 2 digits right here. Again, that's a 32. 32, that 32 divided by 4 equals 8. I have no idea what 1032 divided by 4 is, but I know because 32 divided by 4 equals an integer, this is good. That number could be 1,000,032, 1,000,032, doesn't matter. Just those last 2 digits are what we care about. Okay? You have to go through these a few times, not really because the math is very hard. Math's actually pretty easy. The main thing is knowing the different rules. Right? They're not going to tell you what these rules are. You have to have them memorized, essentially. Okay, 5, really simple. Maybe the easiest one, maybe except for 2. So with 5, if it ends in a 5 or a 0, then you're good to go. If not, not, right? So it'll be an example, right? So 55 divided by 5, right? Divisible by 5, we're good to go because this last digit is a 5. 0 would have also worked, right? 50 divided by 5, right? So 55 divided by 5 is 11. 50 divided by 5 is 10, right? Again, because of that last digit. And again, that doesn't, it could be 50, 500, 5,000. All those are going to work, but you know, like a 47 or 43 or 481, anything like that, it doesn't end in a 0 or a 5, no good, not divisible. It will not get an integer. Okay, so those are the big ones. 6, 8, and 9 are less likely, so I'd really focus on making sure you know 2, 3, 4, and 5 first. But it is possible that you can see a 6, 8, or a 9. What are our examples here? Okay, back to our 336 that we use for 3s, right? Really, because the 3s and 6s are pretty similar, right? So this time we're doing exactly the same thing we did, but the result must be even, right? So, right, 336, right? So we said it was 3 plus 6 divided by 3, 12 by 3 equals 4, okay? So there we're good, right? But another example that we used was the 1017, right? 1017, which was 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 7 over 3, right? And then that gave us 9 divided by 3, right? 1 plus 1, 2 plus 7 equals 9 divided by 3 equals 3. Okay, but because the answer ends in an odd, no good, right? So hopefully that makes sense. The answer ends in an odd, is not divisible by 6. The answer ends in an even, it is divisible by 6. Okay, crawling to the finish here. Divisible by 8 needs to be, so the rule for that is you have to divide by 2 twice, and then the result must be even. Okay, so what would be an example? Like, what if we had 100? Okay, and it says, is 100 divisible by 8? And resulting in an integer again, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is 100 divided by 2 equals 50. And we're going to do it one more time. 50 divided by 2, 25. Okay, so 25 is an odd number, right? And because of that, it is not divisible. 100 is not divisible by 8, right? So if this answer had ended in even, like 24 or 26, then the answer would be yes. Okay, so let's look at one that does work. Okay, so what if it was, last one was 160? 100, I mean, what if we do 160, right? So 160 divided by 2 gives us 80. 80 divided by 2 gives us 40, right? And so that means that 160 divided by 8 gives us an integer. So, kind of crazy that they have all these rules for this stuff. But that's how 8 works. Divide by 2 twice, and it must be even. So you know that, you're set on 8s. Okay, 9s, this is our last one. Look at 118 first. Okay, so on 9s, kind of similar to 3s, you add the digits, but this time you divide by 9 rather than 3, right, and see if it works. So we have 118, right, so that's 1 plus 8 all over 9. That gives us 10 over 9, right? 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 8 is 10. 10 divided by 9 is not an integer, right? So 118, the answer would be no. Okay, what about 126? I mean, unless you're unbelievable at math, you can't just eyeball this and know, well, that's divisible by 9, right? So 126, it's the same thing, right? 1 plus 2 plus 6 divided by 9, right? 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 6 is 9. Right? 9 divided by 9 equals 1, and that is an integer. So that's how you do 9.